Okay, hello everyone. I want to welcome you back to Living Well. We are so excited that you are here today to join us on another Living Well program. Today, before we start, as usual, we are going to go with our disclaimer that our presentation is for educational purposes only. And what is said here or done, if you have any questions, you need further assistance health-wise, make sure you check with your physician or your practitioner and get back with them, discuss with them what you have heard and how you can put it into your daily practice, into your daily lifestyle. So welcome once again. For the past months, weeks, I should say, we have been discussing creation health. We started off with the acronym, creation, and the first letter in that acronym is C, and that stands for choice. We have been talking about choice for the past 3 weeks now, going on to 4 weeks. And our goal here is to help you make wise choices, choices that will be for a lifestyle change, because the foundation of health starts with making a choice. We first talked about what are you thinking? Dr. Sankey presented that first week about what are you thinking. It's very important for you to have positive thoughts so that these positive thoughts can lead towards positive decisions that you can incorporate in your health. Then we talked about taking charge of your health. Very important. We talked about, knowing your vitals, knowing your statistics, your vital statistics, knowing, screening that is important for you, this yearly screening that is so crucial for optimum health, prevents you from, coming down with something that you, at the end, you're surprised with. Also, we talked about keeping a record of your records of your lab, knowing what the doctor is ordering, why he's ordering these lab. Sit and discuss with the doctor results. Just basic knowing your medications, understanding what your medications are, why you're taking it, side effects, and so forth. These are important things you need to know. Getting enough rest, and of course, getting the sunshine, so very crucial for our health. All these things we talked about regarding our health, making choices. These are steps towards a healthier lifestyle. And last week, we heard that Santi talked about, he took the word choice and make an acronym for it. And choice, of course, making the right choice again, always choosing the right choices. H for halt, stop and think about what you're doing. Just don't do things haphazardly, but have a plan. O, overcome, to overcome making decisions that will be good for the future. Also, he talks about the I, intake. Be careful of what we put into our bodies. Our bodies are the temple of God, and we want to put in healthy, wholesome food, thoughts, all of that in our body. And the other C for consider. Give thought about what you are doing. E for encouragement, encourage. Because when you feel encouraged, you're motivated. You're motivated to do what is right. So believe in yourself, encourage yourself to believe and to do the right thing. And S stand for seek. Seek God, seek the Lord with all your heart. Because in our strength, we cannot do all of this by ourselves. We need God's help as he lead and direct us. And today, we're going to be talking about choices as a foundation for the change and to make positive strive towards good health. Choice is a foundation. I have a short video I just want to share with you. And after the video, we want to have discussion. So listen carefully, and you can, we're going to discuss this video afterwards, after we listen to it. So here goes the video.
Is your life all you expected or wanted? Are you making choices that get you closer to your goals and dreams? And think about your relationships, your health, even your career. Even though things happen in life that are out of your control, the reality is that most likely where you are today is a direct result of your choices, even small ones that add up over time. Wise choices are the foundation for achieving positive, lasting change. And every day we face a myriad of choices, from the mundane to the monumental. And each one also shapes who we are and who we become. From the very beginning, God's desire for humankind was to have the freedom of choice. Adam and Eve had the ability to choose what they wanted in life, and it's the same for us today. And just like them, the choices we make do shape our futures. Suppose you want to take a road trip. You probably put a lot of thought into what you want to do on that trip and what sights you're going to see along the way. You pack carefully, you make arrangements for where you're going to spend the night and fill your car with gas, and the last thing you do is you pull out your phone and type in your destination and tap go, right? Now along the way, if you make a wrong turn or take a detour, it's not a problem because your GPS simply redirects you. It alerts you of road closures and more efficient routes. It keeps you updated on your arrival time. Think about your life. How are you planning? Are you on the most efficient route to getting there? The first step in making good decisions is believing that you have control over your life. Why is this so important? Because studies show that people who believe they have control over their own lives are healthier, happier, and live longer. They have a mission or a purpose in their life and will do all in their power to achieve it. That is the power of choice at work. So there are three things to get you started here. First of all, begin by creating a guide, a mission statement. Just like when you go on a trip, you have to know where you're going and why you're going in order to create a plan for that journey. Now, this is not something that you write overnight. Give it some thought. Schedule some time to write what's most important to you about your life. And again, think about work, friendships, life partner, health, and relationship with God. Whatever is important to you becomes your why and can and does shape the choices you make every day. Secondly, think about your habits. Did you know that each day you make about 35,000 choices? There's a study by Duke University that's revealed that 45% of those decisions are unconscious habits. In other words, almost half of our choices are based on our habitual way of thinking and doing things, things we do on autopilot. We don't think about them, but they become habits. And the more aware you are of your habits, the better you can focus on changing the bad ones. And then third, focus on the 1%. Simple, right? In his book, Atomic Habits, author James Clear states that if you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. That is amazing. Who wouldn't want to be 37 times better in just 1% increments? Now, the key here is to think simple, think small, think atomic, as small as an atom. Make easy changes incrementally, and in no time you will see the progress as you move toward the person you want to be. God has given you the power to change and grow. Reach out to Him as you plan your life. He'll be with you as you experience all those detours along the way. He loves you, and He wants the very best for you. Live healthy, live whole. That's creation life.
Okay, so we heard that video. We got 3 guides in order to live healthy life to start us on our journey. We talked about creating a guide, like a mission statement. Any job that you go to, there's a mission statement. A mission statement is like a guide, like a compass to guide you so you can know what is expected of you. Now, we need to create a guide for our health, because by doing that, it will help us to get to that journey, to get to that point in our life that we want to experience optimal health. And also it talks about, think about your habits. Can you imagine? We make 35,000 choices per day. That one blew my mind. 35,000 choices per day we make. And our choices, by making these choices over and over and over again, it becomes a habit. Habit is habit forming. So we need to make those choices that are good, positive, healthy for our health. So it will become part of us. And focus on that 1%. It doesn't have to be big, just small steps. Small steps. I know when we started off, we asked you to write down some goals that you want to see that you fulfill for this year, for this month. We were talking about choices, and we wanted you to make some choices, some changes in your life. The gentleman who just spoke, he said by focusing on 1% each day of your choices that you make, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better. So my question to you, as I know, as I said, we started off, we had you making some choices. I want to know, by show of hands, how many of you think that you are 28% better than where you were than when you started off this year? Because if you go by that 1%, today is 28, so that's 28 times percent better. And when I broke it down to day, that is a 1.96%. How many of us, maybe 1.9% of the time, doing those goals, or maybe one of the choices that we wanted to make, are doing it, at least 1.96% or times, I should say, per day? With a show of hands. So just put your hands up. Let me see. Okay, thank you, Dee Dee. So I don't, okay, 2, okay, I see more hands. Thank you, thanks for raising your hands. So we want to strive to be that 1%. Let's try small baby steps, 1% per day, 1% per day, improve it. I know when I started off, my goal was to get to bed at an earlier time. My plan was to get to bed by 10 o'clock. And sometimes it's hard, but I know when I make that decision and I start planning, as you know, by 6 o'clock, I start planning that this is what I need to do by this time so I can get to my goal, I am able to fulfill it. When I do not plan, when I just said, okay, I'm going to go to bed, and something always comes up that I stop and I start doing, and then it takes me a bit longer to get it done, and I sometimes get to bed 10:30, going 11 o'clock, and my goal was for 10 o'clock. So a plan is so very important. So I have met that 1.96% for the week, but so that's like at least two times for the week, I am in bed at 10 o'clock. So my goal is to improve that. Anyone wants to share maybe what their goal was and how they are reaching it, and have they reached their goal maybe at least 2% twice a week?
For me, I plan that this new year I would learn to sew.
I
have a sewing machine and it is sewing good, and I tried sewing already, but it never really worked out. My mom used to sew for me, and well, she's not here anymore. So, and I would get her seamstress to do whatever I have to do. And she would sew for me, right? But I just have it in my head And I plan that I have to learn to sew my own clothes.
Mhm. Okay.
And one of the things I want to learn to do is to be able to not just take something and put it down and then shape it out and cut it up, but I was learning it from numbers and figures. And so far, it has been going good.
Wonderful. Thanks for sharing, Alicia. Anyone else want to share? And Alicia, I was just piggybacking on what you said. When you are able to fulfill your goal, it helps you, it motivates you, it keeps you upbeat. You feel so much better about yourself. So fulfilling those goals that we set forth at the beginning of the year, let us make a special effort to try to fulfill those goals, because those goals, by doing them, even self is just at 1% daily, you will feel so much better.
Emily,
Yes,
this is Josephine.
okay.
I decided that normally at night before I go to bed, I will have my iPad looking at.
Mhm.
So I decided I'm going to stop that and read a book.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't like reading because of all the schools I've been to and reading, studying. I hate books to read. But I decided I'm going to read. So I took a book from church. I have books out in the lobby for you to take one. And I've been doing that for the past week. That I'm going to read things about God before I go to bed. And I go to sleep quickly. I don't toss and turn because I promised God I'm going to read something about Him before I go to bed, and He's been helping me to do that. And I want to thank Him very much for helping me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Josephine. Wow, okay. Thank you, Josephine, for sharing. That is such a wonderful testimony, because now your mind is at peace, you're calm, and you're able to fall asleep. And when you wake up in the morning, I'm sure you feel so revived and refreshed. Wonderful. Anyone else want to share? Okay. So I'm glad for those of you who are sharing. Another question I have, I think we're talking about choice. What are some choices that you have made, maybe in your past, that maybe if you have to do it over again, you will do it differently? Is there anything maybe you have done you want to share with the audience that you maybe will do differently? I know for me growing up, when I was growing up, I did not take excellent care that I should with with my with my teeth. So therefore, it left me with a lot of fillings. And I'm reading about fillings and all of that and the side effects that they could have. That's one thing that if I could do it over, that I would do better. Oral care is so very important for good health. So although I have I do not have any cavities, but I have lots of fillings. So therefore, if I can do it over again, because I was never taught about, brushing your teeth after each meal. I just thought you brush your teeth when you wake up in the morning and that was it, and go to bed, and all these sweet drinks and fruits and stuff that I used to eat and not taking good care. So I did develop some cavities, but that's one thing I think I would do over differently. Anyone else want to share anything? Okay. Another question. So they were talking about a GPS. Floyd have a question. I went to the doctor Thursday and had my, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, that's a question. Okay, Floyd, I have a question. I went to the doctor on Thursday and had my blood work done. I have an A1C result of 5.9 and want to know what I can do to lower my A1C. Yeah, that's a good question. Now, A1C is a blood test that they do, and what it checks is what your blood sugar range for the past 3 months, basically, the past 3 months, so they can tell. And a lot of times we think only of sugar. Sugary food maybe can raise blood sugar. But besides that, simple sugars are also, we know, is not healthy. But besides simple sugar, carbohydrates, simple refined carbohydrates is one of those things that cause our blood sugar to go up. Because simple carbohydrates break down quickly in our system. It shoots our blood sugar, increase the level of blood sugar in our blood system, in our blood, and the pancreas now has to produce insulin to get that sugar into the cell, and therefore that up and down yo-yo effects can, after a while, wear out that pancreas. So look at your refined carbohydrates. Eat more complex carbohydrates. Fiber. We have to include lots of fiber because fiber helps to regulate that blood sugar intake. So eat lots of fiber and cut back on your simple refined foods, fruits, healthy fruits, good fruits to eat the berries. And be careful of some of these fruits, especially you tending to go up with a high blood sugar, into the high blood sugar range. Cut back on stuff like bananas. Those are very sweet. There's some fruits, watermelon, those are very sweet fruits. If you can eat more, berries, fiber, increase your fiber, cut out refined foods, that will help. And exercise. Exercise is so important in bringing down your blood sugar. I know Josephine is on and she's our nutritionist. Josephine, do you have anything to say to Larry in regards to that?
Yeah, when we go to the store to buy our groceries and reading the food label, it's good to avoid foods that have added sugar. They may have sugar content and let's say 5 grams, and then below they might have 3 grams of added sugar. Those are the ones that pose problems for our sugars. Also, we know that apple cider vinegar is good to take. I was reading and listening to an individual, and it's like 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar helps to control the sugar, especially if you're going to eat a high carbohydrate diet. You can take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar twice a day, and that helps with your sugar levels. But if you have stomach issues like ulcers, it's not good to take it because it can irritate your ulcer. They now sell them in gummies, or they have capsules, apple cider vinegar, because some people can't tolerate drinking it. So they have those. And also another thing, as Emily was saying, the sugars in your fruit and your vegetables, those are good sugars to ingest. But when you eat cakes and ice cream, those are the sugars to be aware of, because the fruit sugar, vegetable sugar, they are bound They are bound sugars, so they don't cause as much havoc in the body as the refined sugar from the ice cream. Those are the ones that mostly cause havoc. So when you're eating your food, you must be aware that you need fiber, protein, fat. Those three things are very complex structures, and they could help the sugar levels not to go so high and fall so quickly. So if you have some avocado, a piece of protein, avocado is the fat, protein is your meat kind, and the fiber could be a salad. Those should be the three main things, and minimal of this starch. The bread and all those flour products, they cause havoc with our sugars. So sometimes I mostly eat cassava. I cook the cassava, the breadfruit, and those things like that. Grains in particular can cause havoc to your sugar levels. So I'm not saying not to eat any grains, but eat like the less processed foods, the cassava that we have plentiful in the Caribbean and they sell them here as well. So those are things that you can do to help control your sugar levels.
Mhm. Thank you, Josephine. So the main thing is fiber, fiber. I hear you mention that over and over, fiber. Uh, and the thing about sugars, especially that high fructose corn syrup, it is ubiquitous in all of our products. Anything that's in a box or can, if you look, you will see high fructose corn syrup. And that's the worst thing for your system. I know they were encouraging diabetics to eat high fructose or to use high fructose corn syrup because, quote unquote, it was not affecting insulin as much. That might be true, but what it's doing is affecting your liver. And your liver, all that system, your liver not working properly can cause a whole havoc. You get fatty liver and other problems because of that. High fructose corn syrup comes in different forms, shape, and the Food and Drug Administration, they know that people are aware of it, so they try to disguise the name. Read your labels. If you don't understand whatever you're reading, it's best for you not to ingest it. Larry,
Can
did
I
you have
ask
a question?
can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is there such a thing as grapes with seeds in the stores now? Because everything I see now is seedless grapes.
Yeah. Grapes are one of those fruits that are very sweet, very sweet. So I don't know, and that's not your question, but going off what you questioned before about the A1C, be careful with grapes because they are very sweet fruit. So I know fruits without seeds are usually genetically modified because all fruits have seeds. So on occasion, when I go to the health food store, I might find some grapes with seeds. So maybe you have to shop around maybe and look for where you can find grapes with seeds. But if your hemoglobin A1C is going up on the higher side, I'll be careful with grapes. I would stick with more the berries. The berries. Those are the best fruits, full of antioxidants, and they help to regulate. And they have high fiber, and they don't affect your blood sugar as much as the other fruits, like grapes and bananas and watermelon and so forth.
And if you want to eat an apple, you choose the green ones
Granny
because
Smith.
they have less sugar. They may not taste as nice, but you
Yeah.
can eat. You don't have to eat it every day. You can eat half of it, but those are the ones preferably to use if you have the fatty sugar levels.
Right. So the Granny Smith apples are better than the Golden Delicious and the other sweet tasting apples. Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome very much. Thanks for that answer, for that question. So we were talking about the video we just watched is was talking about a GPS. You know, when you traveling and you think you're going the right way, then your GPS will tell you, oh no, you need to turn around and go back because you just took a wrong turn. You know, as for our health, we also need to have a GPS, some kind of guide that we need to use so that when we are traveling down this healthy pathway, we can stop and analyze, am I doing the right thing? Or if you're not, then you know how to turn around and to go the right path. So my question is, what is your GPS? What are you using as a GPS for your choices? I know for me, the New Start, that is my GPS. Well, first of all, the Bible, because in the Bible, Genesis, God talked about the diet that he ordained for us. He created us. He knows our bodies. He knows how our body function. So he knows everything about us. So he gave us a choice. He gave us a guide. Just as you buy a car and your car comes with a guide and you follow that guide, your car will last you a long time. I know I had a Toyota when my first car I purchased. That car lasted me for 13 years without an incident. All I did was I followed the guide. I went, took it to get oil change, rotate tires, and so forth, according to the manual, every so much 1,000 miles. And my car lasted for 13 years. The reason why I had to give it up is because it was a stick shift. The clutch finally went out after 13 years. The same way, if we follow that guide that God gave us, we will last a very long time. Our health is more important than wealth. If you have good health, if you do not have good health, but you have wealth, your wealth will mean nothing. So what is your guide? What is your GPS? Can anyone share with me what their GPS is for living a healthy lifestyle?
This year, I decided that I'm going to pray more, to eat less, to stop eating sweets, and to go to bed at least by 11 p.m.
Very good, very good. Thank you, thank you. So you have a guide that
Yes.
you have put in place, and if you fall maybe by the wayside, you can go and check and say, oh, I did not get to bed on time.
I
That's
have it written over my computer.
right, right. So that's a good thing. Have something in view at all times so that you can constantly see that message, that goal, that GPS that you have set for your life, so
Yes.
that you can constantly keep it in mind. Because by it being there, you will be able to, follow your GPS.
Yeah.
Anyone else? You know, in Deuteronomy 28, that whole chapter of Deuteronomy 28 is like a GPS. If we have time, read Deuteronomy 28. When God, the children of Israel, his chosen people, God gave them a guideline, a GPS. And basically he was telling them that if you obey my rules, my principles, my laws, my commandments, if you obey these things, that you will live a healthy, productive life. Not only you will have a healthy life, but everything that you touch or whatever you do, it will prosper under your care. So when you have a chance, read Deuteronomy 28 and see what God instructed the children of Israel to do. The same thing he's instructing us to do today. So let us have a GPS and not just wandering around aimlessly, but with a GPS, it will land us onto the right spot, right where we want to go. And what is your mission statement for your health? Just as I said at the beginning, when you have a job, when you go to a job, any job you go to, one of the things you have to learn is the job mission statement, the purpose of the job. Why are they there? What is the purpose? And we need to have a mission statement for our health. I'll let you think about it in a few minutes, and then I will ask some of you to share with us what your mission statement is. And for me, my mission statement is give the body what it needs. And the innate intelligence of the body will know exactly what to do with it. I firmly believe that if we put in the right foods, the right drink water, exercise, do all those things for that we know, follow those 8 laws of health, principles of health. If we do those things, our body will know exactly what to do with it and how to make it function in a way that we can have healthier, productive lives. So the innate intelligence of our body knows exactly what to do with the foods that we put into it. If we eat wholesome foods, it can take that food and make energy, and instead of storing fat, it will distribute it evenly so that we are not going to have this fat around our tummy and our hips and areas that we do not want it to be. But if we eat the wrong things, then we're going to end up with problems. So that is my mission statement. Does anyone have a mission statement that they would like to share with the audience? What is your mission statement? Or if you do not have one, this is a good time to start thinking about a mission statement for your health. Because if you have a mission statement, you will know where you are going. You will know what your purpose is. You will know your why. We need to know our why. Why are we doing this? Why do I get up every morning and walk 3 miles? Why do I do that? When I think about my why, it makes me go. Even if I don't want to, I said, okay, I know if I do not go, I'm going to start gaining weight, and I do not want to gain weight anymore. So I go. Lee, I see you. You're ready to share. Go ahead.
So my mission statement then, to have a healthy body, I must take my medication, I must exercise, drink water, and get enough sleep.
Love that. Great. And those are all from that New Start or that Creation Health.
Yeah.
Exercise, water, sleep. Those are all important for our health. And take your medication so that you can, live a stable, balanced life. Thank you, Lee, for sharing. That's excellent.
You're welcome.
Yes. Anyone else? Okay. I am so glad that you were able to join us today. So this brings us to the last week of choice. Choice. Next week we'll be talking C for choice, R for rest. So next week for the month of February, we'll be talking about rest. So I hope that this is the foundation. Choice is the foundation of health, because we must make wise choices in order to stay healthy. So let us keep this in the back of our mind as we go through the rest of the months talking about Creation Health. Let us remember the beginning, choice. We need to make wise choices so we can build on that foundation for good health. Thanks for listening. Anyone have anything they want to say or share before we move on to the other part of our program? Okay. Did I see somebody put their hand up? Oh, she's just moving her screen. Okay, so at this time, we are going to stop the recording. There's that button. Because we are going to go ahead and take prayer requests. So stop recording. Yes.